Alright, shalom. We're the Hebrew Israelites, coming out here week in and week out, prophesy the downfall of America. And to let the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans know that y'all the true Israelites according to the Bible. Not those Jew rats over in the land of Israel proclaiming to be Israel. Okay? Let the so-called white man know that his kingdom is going down. Our America is circling the drain. Okay? Give all praises to Yahweh Shemi Awashai. Double honors to our elders at Great Millstone. And blessed to you brothers doing this work in sincerity.
Baruch chapter 2 verse 27. O Lord our power, thou hast dealt with us after all thy goodness, and according to all that great mercy of thine.
And going into the book of Baruch, starting from the top. We'll start from the top real quick. Just to get who it is. Get who it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
Baruch chapter 1 verse 1. And these are the words of the book which Baruch the son of Nerias, the son of Maasaias, the son of Sedatius, son of
that's 2 and 1.
Oh, 2 and you want 2 and 1?
2 and 1.
Oh, fuck. Baruch 2 and 1. Therefore the Lord hath made good on his word, which he pronounced against us and against our judges that judge Israel, and against our kings and against our princes and against the men of Israel in Judea, to bring upon us great plagues, such as never happened under the whole heaven, as it came to pass in Jerusalem, according to the things that were written in the law of Moses.
Okay, that's just to get the gist of it. This book is talking about Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, we'll jump down back to 27.
Verse 27. O Lord our power, thou hast dealt with us after all thy goodness, and according to all that great mercy of thine. As thou spakest by thy servant Moses in the day when thou didst command him to write the law before the children of Israel, saying, If ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them.
Right, and we've been scattered, Israel, we've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. The Lord, that's the curses the Lord put upon us. If we disobey his word, he's going to place curses upon us and scatter us throughout the four corners of the earth where all the heathen dwell. Right now, we dwell amongst heathen. This kingdom is ran by the so-called white man. This is a heathenistic country. Okay, go ahead. Read that again, that last part.
Okay, and us being scattered across the four corners of the earth shows what? That it's not just about black people type of thing, you know, because if we're scattered across the four corners of the earth, then that means what? We look like other nations. You know what I'm saying? Could y'all give me that in Acts real quick? I can give it back to you, brother. Give me on that Acts about the Pentecost. You know? Because we were scattered across the four corners of the earth. That should explain the Gentile thing. That should explain that, you know, Israelites going to come out looking like other nations. You know, we speak their language, take on their customs. What you think we do over there? We retain our looks and our language. We speak English to this day. Just like you got Mexicans that speak English. You know what I'm saying?
Speak Spanish.
You know, y'all speak Spanish, but they came over here with that. But if a Spanish person go to China and he raises family, 3 generations of family up in China, eventually they're going to speak English or Chinese. All right, you got that?
Acts chapter 2 verse 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews.
They were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews. All right, go ahead.
Devout men out of every nation under heaven.
Out of every nation. All right, Jews are what they're basically saying, Benjamin, Judah, and Levi, because in that time the Latin tribes, all right, they already left. All right, so Benjamin, Judah, and Levi were considered Jews, basically the kingdom of the south, which is Judah. All right, devout men out of every nation. So what that means, there were Benjamin, Judah, and Levites, Benjamin, Judite, and Levites coming out of every nation. All right, they stayed in these countries. All right, and they're going to name them. Go ahead.
Now when this was noise abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own language.
Yep, because that's where the speaking in tongues come from. All right, because these men stayed in all these lands. Go ahead.
And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, Behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? And how hear we every man in our own tongue wherein we were born? Parthians and Medes and Elamites,
Parthians, Medes, Elamites, Jews, devout men from out of these nations. Go ahead.
and the dwellers in Mesopotamia, and in Judea, in Cappadocia, in Pontus, in Asia, Phrygia, and Pamphylia, in Egypt, and in the parts of Libya, about Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, Jews, and proselytes.
Yep. And the Pentecost, where everybody comes together, right? What it means, 50. Yeah, 50. All right, Pentecost. It's just basically, like a pentagram. Basically, them the Israelites come together. We feast.
I believe it's like 50 days after the Passover.
Yeah. Count. Good point. All right. Good fact.
Verse 11, Greeks and Arabians, we do hear them speak in our tongues the wonderful works of the Most High.
Yeah.
And they were all amazed and were in doubt, saying one to another, What meanest this? Others mocking, saying, These men are full of new wine.
Yep. So now I'm going to bring out this other point to show that we were scattered, and we're going to get back to the root. Because that's why you can't sit here and say it's about black people. You know what I'm saying? And you have to go off the spirit, because a lot of people saying that the Latins are Chinese or whatever bullshit y'all coming up with. But here it is. We ain't been around these fucking Africans for years. All right, they come over here in America, and we have nothing in common. All right, nothing in common. Here it is. We ain't been around, Mexicans like that, or we ain't been around Brazilians like that, or people from Chile like that, or you can go to Israelite from across on the other side of the earth, but our character is a lot in common. You know what I'm saying? But that shows if we got more in common with Mexicans than Africans, something is wrong. You can go to Mexico and chill out, have a good time. You go to Africa, you trying your best to fit in, wearing the damn dashiki and a kufi and shit, and thinking you had a Mecca experience. It was different, so different, because it's not true. All right, now we're gonna read this. It says Acts 11:19. It says, Now they which were scattered abroad upon the persecution, right, that arose about Stephen, traveled as far as Phoenix and Cyprus and Antioch, preaching the word to none but the Jews only. And some of them were men of Cyprus and Cyrene, which when they were come to Antioch spake unto the Grecians, preaching the Lord Yahushua. And they were speaking unto the Grecians. And then in the verse before that, say they spoke to none but the Jews only. So what that tells you, that Grecians are Jews. It's just Grecians are Greek-speaking Jews. That's it. All right?
You gotta use your context clues, man.
Yep. That's it.